Today we're here to have some deep conversations around themes of entrepreneurship, personal challenges, personal aspirations, motivations. And this is something that I personally feel is very important for our society and has been in my head for some time. Very happy that we're working closely with Mr. Kile, who's the founder of Biz Magazine, and he has been able to host us. And this will be one of those series of, I wouldn't say talk shows, but deep conversations among ourselves. Just introduce Mr. Kinga. He's the founder of Kinga Dendrup. Maybe Kinga, you might want to just share some words about what you do.
My name is Kinga, and I'm the co-founder of Kingdom Essences. Me and my partner, we started Kingdom Essences formally back in 2018, but we started working with the community in Tromsø for almost 8 years now. We've been fortunate to be one of the first one to be in this segment of industry, and we've been fortunate enough to receive training from His Majesty, which really helped us gain confidence, knowledge about essential oils and related well-being products. We've been working with the community in Nubi mainly to extract essential oils, but then after the training we understood that more than the essential oil, there is also business with well-being products, basically like balms, salves, ointments. All of them fall under well-being umbrella. So we've been trying to stay in that line, well-being ginalu. Other than the other one is cosmetic. So so far we are still surviving. So I think we're doing okay.
We connected quite some time ago. I don't know. I personally, I don't even know how I ended up being an entrepreneur in the first place. But it was a very interesting journey how we came across it. I think several years ago, you were talking about your business, how you want to, and it's been a long journey since then, right? And I can see some of your products already here. So I think quite successful in the way you were able to kind of bring out a product and come into the market. But as an entrepreneur, how do you see yourself, doing what you do? And then, because being an entrepreneur it sounds fun, beautiful, exciting, inspirational, but you may be aware it's not easy. It's a constant struggle. So how do you see yourself being an entrepreneur, promoting your brand, and you had your own share of challenges in your own business? And we had deep conversations around it several times. So how do you see yourself being who you are? And
first of all, it's very difficult to call yourself an entrepreneur here in Bhutan, especially. An entrepreneur is someone who brings changes in the society, fills up gap, brings impact in the society. So it's a huge responsibility to call yourself an entrepreneur. And I don't know if I can call myself an entrepreneur, but I can call myself as someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, who's still trying to be an entrepreneur, who's still trying to bring an impact in the society, and who's more than bringing change in the society or in the local economy, to bring change in myself first. And I'm still struggling in that phase itself right now. What we can bring in the society, everyone has an impact. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to have an impact in the society. If you are a customer, you also bring an impact. What you choose to buy brings an impact. And for me, I think it's been struggling. The past few years been very difficult, but then it's been also very educational, and it's become more like finding yourself. Do you really want to do what you're doing? Especially when you face challenges, you really ask that question, and that's a very difficult place to be in, because once you have started something and given hopes to your family, yourself, to people who have invested in you, there you feel like there's no turning back. But then because of the challenges, you also feel you don't want to carry that. Because when you face challenges, the journey becomes like a burden. So you almost feel like you're giving it up. But then because of the people surrounding you, the hopes, you feel no, you cannot turn back now. So that becomes a very difficult place to be in. But it all depends on the inspiration. The main, for me, it's all the main reason why you started it and where you wanted to take it in the first place. So for me, I think this journey is gonna be a never-ending journey. And
there's the beautiful part of being an entrepreneur, but like I said, it's very personal and nobody understands. Even your wife may not understand what you're up to, right? So I think you shared some very important aspects, the impact and all. At the same time, I always have the question, like, as an entrepreneur, like, deep down, are you satisfied? Are you happy what you're doing right now? Do you think if you had another choice, would you do something else? Or even at this stage of time, would you, in the next couple of years, are you thinking about doing something else? Because sometimes it's the whole journey of entrepreneurship is exciting. So because I feel in Bhutan, like, sometimes people just get so stuck up. Like, you're doing one thing and you're known for that, but people sometimes get so drained out doing the same thing, right? So sometimes I think it's the choices that you get in life. What do you think? Like, are you up to for something different? Would you be interested? Like, I personally love doing new things. I started many things. I'm part of many things, but every day I'm trying to do new things. I want to be a startup every day. So do you often get into those vibes?
I do have, in different segments, a lot of interest. Me personally, I started my venture as an organic farmer, but that's what I wanted initially to do, to grow an organic farm, a small scale farm. But then working with the community, I found out that there's a bigger scope in well-being and essential oils. It all came by chance, by the way. And yes, more than doing something else, something new, a lot of thoughts occur, like if I can go back in time and do it a little differently. That always occurs in my mind. And it's not bad to think like that also, because the future is always ahead, so we can make changes now. To make changes now, you need to be persistent, I think, and be determined to be doing what you really want to achieve. So yes, for me, yes, Sonam, what you said, there's so many things you wish to do and you're able to do it because you might have the knowledge, the resources to do it. But for me, I think all of these things I've passed those things. I've told myself that there is only a few things you can achieve in life, and one of them is what you're doing right now. I don't see an end to what I'm doing right now, like a complete, when you get a task and you complete it. I consider myself as someone who like task oriented, task chibabe, ani ti matsap sense beni gi same interest to be sumidimeva. When it's a huge project, something which is never gonna end, like it always needs to be rolled around. As a personal lacking, it's very difficult for me because one thing, maybe I'm too emotional. I get caught up in my emotions. So you get caught up in me. But as a businessman mindset, these are things I learned on the way, along my journey, and I'm still working on it. As my personal view, like you see your friends move out to Australia and all, and they're doing well in that world na it's all economy driven tample rani be diyo that to the money driven nemeba. So if you have cash capital, you can do things easily.
Do you think making money makes you feel good?
In reality, if you have money, you can achieve things. You can work on your dreams. Angachinagi situation that access to finance difficult difficult problem. Our import is very much higher than exporting. The entrepreneurs jobs it in the mo. So currently intention that what inspired them they local economy build import reduce export increase come the country as a whole, nation as a whole. Yeah, honey no some the last year first of all customers secondly anzumbe inspired me jamme as a personal viewpoint it's going to be very difficult where I am and what I'm doing today. But what I feel is the industry that I'm in, it's growing demand is growing as long as I stay persistent, focused, better than what I had been doing or learning from the experiences and implementing the things that I've learned along the way. Business as a nation, our company have achieved and replicate like few more companies because it's all export oriented. It's not exactly export oriented, but market bomb so so small community. There are like 500 geoks across the nation. Same idea to replicate. It's not rocket science. So
I think you have touched upon many aspects of what an entrepreneur really experiences, like support structure. You need to have very good framework. It comes all the way from the kind of family that supports you, your friends, your co-founders, your friends, and it's very deep. Like I said, when you start something like this, it must have happened somewhere in one room and talking about this idea, because this doesn't happen from a competition or like. Of course, there's this whole another startup, the hackathon dashboard, but sometimes these great ideas are born in this one table, these two guys chatting on that end. And I think what I really admire about you is you have really learned to endure. Endurance is very good for you, because I've seen you grow from this small company, and now I think everybody knows your company. And in fact, you have been able to convert problems into opportunities. Of course, is how big is the problem? I don't know. There's no information that I know. I'm not an expert in the essential oils. But over the years, we have worked together, right? We have done some things together. We discussed about ideas, and I've personally coached you into your packaging. Of course, it's a paid assignment, but I think the learning has been the greatest benefit, the gift of our engagement. And then as you highlighted, the challenge, the struggle will continue. But there needs to be a light at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
The good reasons are all about the impact, and at the same time, the real reasons also. I think you need to be able to make money, right? I personally would acknowledge and really understand the challenges, issues you face. But I think the good thing is that you keep a positive vibe towards it, and you're willing to endure it. And as mentioned, you're giving in everything. You're focusing on it. So, like, do you have any tools? Like, okay, maybe I'll ask you, how's your personal relationship? Like, are you married? Are you seeing somebody? Do you draw energy out of this? Do you think being alone, single, lonely, nobody to talk to?
It doesn't make a lot of difference in me. But what I have seen in my friends, bro, they do better when they're in a good relationship. They don't stress a lot in me. Stress they won't ever, but they know they have to overcome it because they have to support their family, they have to support their children's. And baby, the inspiration is some. They think about next generation, you know, sometimes so I'm with the family and with the they are more determined. I've never line of thought na look. I namna se alu so opteong alu giden savings pe go belo ansum gi wal na chirmasibo. So in a way long shares no adide ansum tension ba material ba namsami dan I focus level guys bro any company dira aspa the focus the you got it's very questionable but then I inspire I dream I kachi karade ani ladi the jumbe smooth page so it'll stand on its own my the yurumiro it'll be there for a century ransom chibe it'll live on see
as an entrepreneur maybe I can share what I do also. Maybe like 60 days a week you are giving in everything, you go through stress, you have to argue, you have to compromise, you have to take all this emotional baggage, you deal with this. But you also need that, I would call that break, right?
Yeah.
So what's your typical getaway?
I like football a lot. Now some just heck much to be Friday night we try to hang out with friends, we try to play a football game of football, and after that we go out drinking. I'm sorry, today chant to my they were taking the places where I hang out. Actually, evenings we go to Mujuba, we hang around beer garden, only share the only parties that much the logi gives on some me, Rugara, a young sounds on me. So I baby the Namsami Junimi, Yamanam Junimi. So my stress relief there football game it's one of the my passion area and baby the football champions and gas.
Very important, probably I would say habits or behaviors of an entrepreneur. You need that break. Like for me, maybe it's I just need like an hour of being alone. This is how I escape my thing. Personally, I'm a very workaholic person, so sometimes I often lose touch with it. I don't know whether it's Monday or Saturday or Sunday, or I don't know what time is it. So as an entrepreneur, I'm clueless of what's. So sometimes I feel like this is where I always try to go back to reality. I need to be in touch with reality. I cannot lose my essence and be lost, and which can come at a cost, both at your family level, at your society, at your community. So I think these are important aspects, as an entrepreneur. You also shared, and sometimes I go meet my friends. I play a little bit of basketball. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy doing that. I'm not so much of into bars and stuff like that, but I do that because I need that. Rangi Mishiva, but you don't know whether there's a longing desire inside because because you cannot be 24 hours sane. There needs to be an insane part of you. And it's okay to be who you are, right? You just have to let it go. So yeah, I mean, very interesting. I think we share similar. Of course, I wish I make time because for me, I think now I have children. Very important part of my life. It's part of me now. So I have to make time for all of these. So what boils down here is I think you need to have time management, sacrificing what matters the most. As you mature, you have to be prioritizing, and with that comes discipline. As you're lucky to be single, but when I was single, I didn't really have the discipline. Work is like I'm there. I'll just shut everything and just work. So these are, I think, things that over time things change, and these are things that I think entrepreneurs. So maybe I'll just talk about like. How engaged are you with social media? How engaged are you with digital? Because everything nowadays is about digitization, right? So how do you see your engagement as a as an entrepreneur or at a personal level? Maybe you have a social Facebook page or profile or whatever. How do you look at social media? Do you think we should balance? You should strike a balance.
I think social media has a huge reach, marketing in a hero, promotion in a hero. For me, we do have a social media page. Me personally, I'm not so engaged in social media. I do check Instagrams and all, but then like post and some our personal page na lenam sem bin me not because say man you just like forget jemeba and some traction janigi. When it comes to business, it's very important to me. Social media reach. We tried hiring people to handle our social media pages. We handle consistent pay uploads, interactions. We get traction, At least people around knows. It's still there. And company those and it's been past 6 months since our contract ended. Anyway, our contract ended. Now the page is almost idle as well. Stories upload very few times in a month. Upload you know that who your organic followers are. You keep interaction when it comes to our business and the social media attractions posts to it's become very less few because I'm handling it myself and now clueless man. I know what might work, what might not work, but then like you cannot channel it down, narrow it down, and make posts only. It's very difficult to me. So I did the question the rule advice on social media. If you are very much active personally, business same active activities, and you get really good traction, and it really helps. When we started, my partner she was handling it, and traction we tried boosting a few posts, but then organic better you get organic followers. Yes, it really matters, social media.
Again, even my personal opinion is it looks easy.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to run social media posts. I've tried personally. I really struggle. Of course, I have a team who does that. Still, then it's difficult. Especially, so I'm always trying to learn about something called social media content creation. I know some people who do fantastic work with this, but it's not easy, especially to be in front of cameras, especially to take your own picture and post something. It looks easy. I was just recently in China and I was just surprised by the amount of social media they use. It's like a daily transaction. So we cannot shy away from that. We have to be making it part of your life. But how much do you engage with it? How much are you absorbed in it? It's a matter of discipline, right? But I think the power of social media is very powerful. And what matters the most is it's absolutely free.
Yeah.
The only cost you're paying is your time. So goes back to time management. How much of your time do you engage in doing that? So I mean, even my advice to maybe our young entrepreneur startups, you have to capitalize on social. It's free, but I always tell people, you cannot build your own mansion in a rented land also. So you have to build your own. So that's where I call it the brand building, brand build over. You have to build your own brand. You may not be able to build your own brand on social media itself. You have to build your own personality, your brand. So that gives you more leverage, and it's a long term. So for any startup or an entrepreneur, I think you have to take stock of it. Majority of it is all free, so it is an investment of your time. You don't have to spend anything these days. Everything's almost free. It's at your fingertips. So yeah, I mean, maybe with regard to your business, so what are your plans? How like, is this the only thing you do, and are you able to make good money out of it? Are you Are you spending good money? And where are you putting your money in? And for your products, I know we're working on your product packaging, we're discussing about it. So where do you think your business is at this stage of time?
We initially started as an essential oil manufacturer, and right now we are the community forest that we work with. Their community forests, we've been able to EU organic certify it. It was a necessity for us in order to export our essential oils abroad. Everyone looks for it, certification, and local certifications, it doesn't count in it, most, especially the market that we are looking for. So EU certification, pine essential oil, Tongpugi essential oil, we've been sending it to Germany, and feedback and demand increased a little bit, and we hope it'll keep on multiplying, and any traction pine essential oil, and when it comes to investment in certification costs a lot, especially for a small company like us. It's a big investment in the investment, the guaranteed market. So since we got a guaranteed market, so we put any market return half of it for any certification given the and then the community first thing, there are community forest resources use based, the use based we can pay them in the community. So community inclusion so in that side, in that segment, any side it's still the graphs it's going up and a few other essential oils. It's very difficult to penetrate in export market, global market. Not penetrate in Lakhadu. Number one, the certification is very difficult. The certification, I feel the organic certification, that's on the forest, the trees, and so certified paper. But when it comes to the product certification, it's a whole new chapter in there. And so it's a very difficult process and very expensive one. But then if you have a guaranteed market, you have the courage to do it. Invest in it. The future plans of the yes, we're gonna stick with essential oils. That on market na 6 essential oils. We plan to bring 10
new products,
new essential oils. Few other essential oils at 10 like because we already have like 10, 11, 12 essential oils. Just that market we didn't bring it out in the market, but then we use them in our value-added well-being products, related products, balms, salves, and so since 2018 market 10 and since last year skin ointment and face serums skin food so some products push that CSI packaging in the lab new products like and so the retail products so industries so that you got direct the essential oils so we sell it out in bulk. Margin it helps roll the company. When it comes to retail products, margin is higher than ever. So essential oils say that the retail knowledge plus the margin it's high level. It's the margin high, it's very slow moving product so not many return so it's very dangerous game.
How's your cash flow status?
Especially B2B it really helped us. At least it's surviving. Community low pay certification ki cost lam and employee salary lam survive and give.
Do you have individual investors? Do you have I don't know, institutional investors? How's your investment structure? And then are you able to raise funds? Do you want to raise more funds? Do you want to ask people if they're interested to invest? Are you open to all these ideas?
Yes, we do have investors, individual investors. It was back in 2019. We really wanted to scale up our business. We've been working in a very small and we wanted to scale up and build a finance. We thought about loans, we thought about crowdfunding and so some time, but then somehow it first loan get the capital go away. Capital loan thopni get you need mortgages. So another challenge to do. So it got rejected. Crowdfunding it was good to get crowdfunding but then somehow it felt that the time like it's almost like IPO indirectly. So we're giving hopes to a lot of people. Some of them don't even know about the business, but then just
returns.
Return know sometimes. So much a tricky position and then mainly this work is quite personal for me and my partner. Actually, personal journeys so it was best we get a partner certainly. So through Japchur platform, season 2 we participated. And initially it was very difficult for us. No some multiple shares through it's like giving a part of your life so no some time but then no some so if it dies it's not you who's dying. And we got really good partners through that platform. We fit na present baby, and then the partners yes, we got financial investments. And we've been able to build our factory that we have right now. The distillation facility, we capacity built baby. It's all, like 20 times bigger than what we've been producing, and more than that, we found like-minded partners, like really understandable. When we approached them, we didn't tell them, yes, of course, in papers it's all returns and only prospects 100% 100% inside, but then they didn't come in for the money. That return of course, back of the mind is why and money may capture no time investment. All of them were really interested in the business vision, mission, the goals, everything. They really liked what we were doing as a person. They really liked what we were doing first, and second, they really liked this whole segment of industry that we were in. Segment na member, well-being member, but they were really interested in organic lifestyle, well-being, natural well-being, natural healing, and the investors moral support, pressure like full control
because I often struggle sometimes, because actually, if you speak from a spiritual perspective, we call it a Tserenam. Do you have like a mentor?
Not
A person
an individual. Maybe it's good to have one good mentor than have so many mentors. That sense, I'm not good at like choosing one mentor and like maybe I'm a little bit egoistic in that side. Ego do why yanchin the member chin like self-doubt.
There's no doubt.
And but then like there's so many individuals.
I think you have to scale up, expansion. You're looking to expand your business, looking for some finance, some access to credit where you may be able to pull out more products or increase your capacity. But I also see that you function now more than a sole entrepreneur to this person who needs to take care of the entire business, right? So I would put that as you have to play a more like a leadership role, right? Your own business. So what is your definition of leadership in your own business? And how would you define a good leader from your personal experience?
Everywhere it's same, I think. True example, the rules that you make, if you break it, the followers or your team, they won't feel it. They won't feel bad breaking it imeba, because open digiran some be mislape. To example ime, the ngai take hype dalu didi. I don't know ngai ati inspire be banzumbera benigi ane mabchi didi. I consider myself a little genuine because I really like what I do. So the team also, they feel the same energy. Oh, so it really depends on. They always follow through example. The communication skills leader. No matter what you aspire to be, same employees to same community same communication skills they will think the other way around.
Anyways, thank you very much for your time. I think we had a very engaging, deep conversation, and thanks for sharing.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.